Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We may start now. Yeah. Please just mute him. 10. Fine. Okay. In the first hour, I'm gonna just go through الماتيريال بشكل سريع عن شو المادة بالضبط وحل بعض الأسئلة بشكل randomly. في first of all نحكي عن fraction, decimal and percentage. خلينا نشوف بعض الأسئلة هون. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And the questions. طيب في بعض مثلا زي هذا السؤال. اوكي بدي انا بسم الله. اوكي هنا there are 20 students in a class. 35% of the students in the class are boys. So 35%, okay, are what? Are boys. What fraction of the class is girls? طيب هلا 35%. اوكي انا ما عندي اي معلومه ممكن تساعدني انه اقدر احل السؤال بطريقه سهله. ما عندي قدامي غير انه انا بعرف، تمام، بعرف انه the boys they are 35%. So in the other side the girls is what? 65%. طيب 65% هي عباره عن مين؟ 65 over what? Over 100. So divide by 5, that's equal 13. Divide by 5, that's equal what? 20. This is a very fast way to solve such question. Okay, what else? Okay, which of the following represent, oh no, that's fine. Okay. طيب في سؤال تاني راح اعمله هون هلا. اللي هو هذا. At Sally's sale shop, okay, everything is sold for 20% less than the price marked. If Sally buys a sweater, okay, for $80, what price should the mark, okay, them if she wants to make a 20% profit on her cost? Okay. هلا أنا عندي, I know that she's making profit 20%, we agree, and she has a cost price in the same times she want to give a 20% off. Guys, ما بتسمع صوت. Sit down. Okay, so 20% profit, 20% off, and in the same time there's a cost. طيب fine. الكوست أنا عندي واضح اللي هو قد إيه؟ $80. So $80, I want to have a profit on it, which is 20%. Okay, we agree on this. So to get that profit, so it's equal to 80 plus 80 times 20 over 100. Why, Mr. this way? So 80 plus 80 times 20 over 100. The first 80 is the cost. The second part, which is here, is what? As the amount that I want to add on the cost so I can gain profit. Based on this, final price is equal original price plus original price times percent. So in this case, what I can say here, 80 plus 80 times 20 over 100, that equals, in this case, $96. So if I sell the switcher at $96, I will get 20% profit. But still the question isn't finished yet. Why? The problem is what price I shall put on a tag, a switcher tag, okay? So in case that I put a 20% off to get to 96. So at the end, 96 is a final price. There is a price I put it on a tag, which I call it X, minus a discounted rate, which is 20%. So 20 over 100 times X. So at the end, I can get what? $96. So in this case, 96, that's equal to X minus 0.2X. Okay, shift solve, then X in this case, $120. $120. So $120 is the price I would put it on a tag. After I get a discounted rate, which is 20%, I will have 96. 96 is for me a profit with a 20%. So in this case, this kind of questions, I call it double slash. Why? Because one of them is increasing and the other one is decreasing. Okay, this is regarding the percentage. Let's go for next. The second one is about ratio. Okay. Such kind of questions comes a lot in the M1. It's like in different forms. So the question is asking here is, what is the degree measure of the largest angle of a quadrilateral if the measure of the four angles are in the ratio of 2 to 3 to 3 to 4? And by the way, guys, the ratio lesson like has many like questions coming in M1 in different forms, whether it's algebra or geometry. So it's like necessary to understand all the methods and all the technique in solving ratio questions. So 2 to 3 to 3 to 4. The quadrilateral itself, I know that this is a quadrilateral, okay? And in the questions, okay, involving ratio, I always get and put X to solve the question. So 2 to 3 to 4 to or sorry, 2 to 3 here. 2 to 3 to 3 to 4. So such case is we put X, Y, because the 2 to 3 to 3 to 4 is ratio, but it's not the real value. So in this case, we can say 2X plus 3X plus 3X plus 4X, that equals 360, okay? And solving this, we get 2, 3, 3, 6, 8, and 4. 10X is equal, sorry, actually it's 12, 6, 4, 10, 12X is equal 360. اوكي في حدا مش عامل ميوت. Okay, come again. So 12x equal 360, then x is equal what, 30? Okay, now based on the information given in the question, this is the smallest angle, this is in the middle, those are in the middle, and this is one the largest. The largest is what, 4x. I got x already 30. So the largest angle is going to be what, 4 times 30, that's equal how much? 120. Okay, those questions are involved in what? In M1, especially with ratio. Like, of course, you should know how to differ between direct and inverse proportionality. In direct, we want to make a comparison, x1 over x2 equal y1 over y2, or we say y is equal kx. And inverse proportionality, we say x1 over x2 equal y2 over y1. Okay, this is inverse, this is what, direct. Okay, and this one. Okay, one good question. Assume x varies directly with y and inversely with z. Okay, and that when x is 6, y and z are each 9. what is the value of y plus z when x is equal to 9? So just remember something. The rule is straightforward here. For this is the direct, this is the inverse. For the direct, when x is equal to 6, so x here is going to be 6, x here is going to be 6. Fine. x2 is 9 based on the information here. So x2 is 9, x2 is 9. Okay. In the proportionality, the first one is what? y1 over y2, which is y1 over y2. In the right hand as y2 over y1, so y2 over y1. Okay. y1 here is when y is equal what? 9. Okay, and y2 here, I don't know it, but I have y1. It's also still what? 9. So doing the cross multiplication, the inverse get me what? y2 is equal 6. And here y2 is equal 13.5. So y plus z, in this case, is equal to what? 19.5. Okay. That's direct and inverse questions. Fine. Let's jump for the next topic because I don't have time to solve every single chapter question. And after that, 1 hour, we just go through the material. Another hour, we go and solve external questions. So, yeah, number 4 is the polynomial. So I don't think, oh, maybe we solve one question in the polynomial. Okay, you know the factorization, how to add, subtract, combine polynomials. Okay. One good question in polynomial, this one. Okay, such kind of question, how to solve it? C, we can say we take the question asks me to simplify. So we want to simplify this question. So we get 3x squared minus what? 4. Okay, at the top here. Then this becomes 3x minus 2, x plus 2. Okay, this is the first one. And this becomes x minus 3, x minus 2. And this one becomes, we take 2 out, and inside 2 bracket x squared minus 7x plus 12. So in this case, 2 bracket, we say x minus 3 and 4. And for this one, we have also 2 brackets, x minus plus 4, 2. What's the next step, mister? Okay, every single one we put it on that when it's like its place. So on the left side, we say 3 bracket x minus 2, x plus 2, okay, all over. Okay, the one here, x minus 4, 3x plus 2, multiply. Now we flip, flip. The below, okay, polynomial becomes up, and the upper one, we put it what? Down. So yeah, we have now 2 bracket, which is x minus 3 minus 4 all over, all over x minus 3, x minus 2, x minus 3, x minus 2. Okay, fine. X minus 2, x minus 2, x minus 3, x minus 3, x minus 4, x minus 4, x plus 2, x plus 2. So at the end, I have 3 times 2. The answer is what? 6. Okay. It's one of like main question. Yeah. And yes, remember the degree of the polynomial. What's the degree of this polynomial? I don't need to multiply it even. So y multiply y, it's y cubed. So directly the degree is what? 3, which means this is a cube polynomial. Let's go next. Chapter 5. Equations and inequalities. Yeah. This question in the inequality, okay, how to solve it? First of all, I need to solve it as a normal equation, which means 3 over 4 minus 5 over x equals 7 over x. Shift solve. X is equal 16 is the first thing. The second thing that I know, x should not equal to 0. So this is the second value. So I have two critical values, which is the x equals 0 and the x is equal what 16. Fine. After that, what is it? They are both a whole. Why? It's not shaded. So I need to now put it on a number line like this and check. Put a number greater than 16, which is as an example, 17. So I'll put it inside the x and check. It works? Yes, it works. Then I will choose a number between 0 and 16, like 1. I'll put it inside the inequality. It works? No, it will not work. It will not satisfy the inequality. So I'll put a number below 0, which is like -1. It works? Yes, it works. Yeah, it works. So in this case, what's my solution? It's x greater than 16 and x less than 0, or sometimes we call it x greater than 16 or x less than what? 0. Okay, fine. Such question like this, how to solve it? We have absolute value, 3 absolute x plus 5 absolute, which is equal here, what, 12? We jump the 5 there. Then we divide by 3, divide by 3. So x plus 5 absolute value is equal to 4. And to remove the absolute value, we say that x plus 5 is equal plus minus 4, which means here x plus 5 is equal to 4 and x plus 5 is equal -4. Yes, we have two values here. Solving this, okay, we get -1. Solving this, we get what? -9. So two solutions for the absolute value. Two solutions for the absolute value. Okay, fine. Another question. Okay, such question like this, I don't need to solve it with my hand. You just plug it in the calculator, same as it is, and you press shift solve. Then what you'll get directly, x equal 343. Okay. One of the questions that may come, I don't know, like 4 square root of x, that's equal 7 minus 15. So such case, 4 square root of x is equal what? -8. So square root of x is equal -2. That doesn't work. The square root doesn't give me a negative number. So in this case, no solution. Mr. How do I know in the exam? The calculator will tell me that it's a math error. Tamam? It will not solve it. So you need to use your hand to understand what the reason why the calculator give you a math error. Fine. Quadratic factorization. Just remember something. In the quadratic, if you just factorize a quadratic equation, we call those what? Factors, and we call this what? Zeros or roots. The name, okay? Or sometimes we call it solution. Fine. Skip all of this now. Many things here. Yeah, it's simultaneous equations, elimination. And using, I'm gonna just talk about the graph one because those you can just skip them and use it a calculator. The graph one, okay, many students till now they don't understand what's meant by a simultaneous equation. Simultaneous equation using graph, okay. It's when solving two simultaneous equations, the answer get you x equal 3x, y equal -1. And always remember, what are those values? It's the intersection point between what? The two lines. It's the intersection point between the two lines, okay? So that's the first thing to remember here. Okay, right, next. Fine. Some of the question come like rationalize. What's meant by rationalize? Rationalize, you put the fraction in its simplest form. If you just plug this in the calculator, it will not give you the same answer. So rationalize, it means you have to multiply by square root of 2, multiply by square root of 2. And that equals to what? Square root of 2 times square root of 2, that equals to 2. And here square root of 2. So in this case, it's simplified. Why, Mr. This is simplified? Because there are, okay, three things, major things, they are not accepted, okay, in the denominator, which is the negative numbers, complex numbers, and the square root, also the sine and cosine. So if you want just to simplify, you need to eliminate that from the denominator. That's why if you plug it inside a calculator, it will change the shape of the fraction from 1 over square root of 2 to square root of 2 over 2. Okay. One of the examples, okay, Mr. We can just do that in the calculator directly and just we don't need to deal with it. No, remember in the exam, this comes this way. 1 over square root of x. How to solve this? You need to know that you need to multiply by square root of x by square root of x. That equal to square root of x over what? X. I need to understand that. I need to fix that also. That's what you call it, rationalize. Rationalize the fraction. Okay, fine. Very quick one. That's for equations and inequalities. Now, the chapter 6, which involve word problems, I'm not going to go inside that. Why? Because it's like it has a variety of questions, different questions from each other. Every single question, it's involved with a certain topic. So word problems, every topic in math, it has a real life application. Remember that you can do it. Now we go for geometry, chapter 7. Okay. And the chapter 7 here, okay, the parallel lines. Always remember what's meant by complementary and what's meant by a supplementary angles. Complementary means the sum of the angles equal 90. Supplementary angles equal what? 180. Okay. Yeah. See, such question I told you that it might come because ratios always involve with what? With all the topics in math. So the question here, if in the graph, the figure, okay, below A to B to C is equal 2 to 3 to 4, what's the value of angle A, angle B, and angle C? Sorry. So I know that from the ratio that this angle totally, we call it a straight line angle, and that's equal 180. Okay, so in this case, 2x plus 3x plus 4x, that's equal how much? 180. In this case, 2 plus 3 plus 4, 2 plus 3, 5 plus 4, 9x is equal 180, and the x in this case is equal 20. And after solving that, x equal 20. So the angle A is equal 2 times 20, which is equal 40. Angle B is equal 3 times 20, which is equal 60. Angle C, which is equal 4 times 20, that's equal 80. And just check if you add them all, that's equal 180. Fine. Remember that ratios are really important topic in M1 exam. It involved with fractions, algebra, all algebra and geometry. Fine. Okay, I can just explain everything, but this is one of the major important point in M1 exam. Okay, the parallel lines, always know that angle 1 is equal angle 4, 2 equal 3. Angle 1 is equal angle 5 correspond. Angle 2 is equal angle 6 correspond. Angle 4 is equal angle 5 alternate interior. Angle 3 is equal angle 6 alternate interior. Okay, angle 1 is equal to angle 7 alternate exterior. 3 plus 5, angle 3 plus angle 5 is equal 180. We call it interior angles. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal 180. We call it what? Straight line angle. Always remember that those the name of angles. Okay, we're gonna solve this. It's a very good question. So the question asks me that if I want to add A plus B plus C plus D. So how to solve such question? You need to split the question into two different shapes. The first one involving like this 65, and that's AB, and the other one 40, and that's here C and D. 65 here, this is equal 65 corresponding angle. So angle B is equal 180 minus 65, that's equal 115. So here also 115. Okay, yeah, the first thing. So A and B are 115 each. B and C in this case, D and C here, angle 40, it's corresponding with C. So C is also what? 40. D here is what? Also 40. So in this case, yeah, angle A, 115 plus 115 plus 40 plus 40, that equals at the end 300 and what? And 10. Okay. So from this slide, you need to remember the location and the position of each angle and how I can connect it, okay, with other angles. Fine. This is a general involving chapter 7. We go now to chapter 8. Chapter 8, triangle in general. Actually, no, that's not necessary. Chapter 8, we need to remember the characteristics of the triangle. Oh, actually, no, I need to go through it. Fee something important there. Okay. Triangles, the area of a triangle, the angle measurements, the classification of the triangle. There's one question inside this chapter, came in one session. Yeah, this one. This came in M1 before. So a student is constructing a triangle for a geometry assignment. So the teacher has specified these requirements for the triangle. The perimeter of a triangle is equal to 30 centimeters. So I have a triangle. Okay. And the perimeter is equal to 30 centimeters. The length of all three sides of the triangle are a whole number. We mean like integers. So the shortest side of a triangle is equal to 7. So let's choose one which call it 7, and this one x, and this one call it what? Y. How many different lengths are possible for the longest side of the triangle? Okay. So I can just explain that. So since x plus y plus 7 is equal 30, which means x plus y is equal 23. Okay, this is rule number 1. And there is one of the triangle rules that x plus y should be greater than 7 and x minus y should be less than 7. So what are the two numbers? I add them and get me 23, but their sum is greater than 7 and their difference is less than 7. So if just good in mental math, you know that it's 15 and 8. We have this combination, and we have also 14 and 9. We have 13 and 12. We have, no, sorry, 1 second, 14 and we have 13 and 10. And we have 11 and 12. Yeah. So, okay, fine. If one side is equal 15, the other side is equal 8. 15 plus 8 is greater than 7. True. 15 minus 8 is less than 7. No, it equals 7. So this choice is what? Banded. Let's close this case. The other three choices. 4 plus 9. Yes, it's greater than 7. And 14 plus 9. Sorry, 14 plus 9 greater than 7. And 14 minus 9. Yes, less than 7. This choice is accepted. Remember, the sum should always equal what? 23. 13 plus 10. Yes, it's equal 23. And 13 plus 10 greater than 7. 13 minus 10 less than 7. This choice is accepted. 11 plus 12. 11 plus 12 equal 23. 11 plus 12 greater than 7. And 11 plus minus 12 is less than 7. So this choice is also accepted. So these three choices are important to understand. So in this case, yeah, we have three different choices that are and to be chosen, so that we have three different lengths of the longest side. Okay, this is very important question. It came before. Always remember also in the general triangle, the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, and also how we can use ratio to solve questions. Let's jump to chapter 9. Chapter 9, ya Jama'ah. A very important chapter. Okay. There's something called geometric mean. Sorry. Geometric mean, it means the square root of the multiplication of two numbers. As an example, what's the geometric mean of 4? What's the geometric mean of 4 and 16? So it means square root 4 times 16. That's equal how much? 4 times 16, 64. That's equal to 8. Okay, that's equals to what? To 8. We call this a geometric mean. Don't mix it up. Don't mix it up, please. Don't mix it up with an arithmetic mean. Okay, don't mix it up with an arithmetic mean. Fine. So this is I call it geometric mean. In the similarity chapter, remember that right triangle characteristics. If I want to get h squared, which means x times y. If I want to get the a squared is equal x times c. If I want to b squared, y times c. Okay, the important part in this chapter is the three major thing, which is how we can say that two triangles are similar. Always remember, when we say a similar triangle, which means AB divide DE is equal AC divide DF is equal to FE divide CE. So this case, we can say that two triangles are what's similar, fine? And the ratio are equal in this case. But the angles are, all of the angles are congruent. They are equal to each other. We say now the two triangles are similar. They are not congruent. In similarity, we have three postulates. What are they? Angle, angle. If we have two angles equal to angles, then we can just apply that. Both triangles are what? Similar. Fine. This is the first case. The second case, if we have two sides having the same ratio and one angle between them, which is called included angle, equal to other angle, which we can say that, okay, it's side, angle, side. If we have three sides have the same ratio, we can say side, side, side. So in similarity chapter, we have only angle, angle postulate, two angles equal to angles, we can say similar. Side, 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 the three sides have the same ratio. Side, angle, side, the two sides have the same ratio and the angle between them is congruent. So we say yes, both triangles are similar because of what? The side, angle, side. This is in brief, okay? If I want to solve a question, like in one question, yeah, a very dangerous point in M1, and most of the students, they skip that. In M1, you need to remember and memorize. You need to remember and memorize how to convert from from inch to feet to yard. Remember this, how to convert from inch to feet to yard. From feet to inch, you divide by 12, and from feet to inch, you multiply by 12. From inch to feet, you divide by 12, and from feet to inch, you need to multiply by 12. And okay, remember this because it came before in the previous April session. Okay, and the question asks about triangles, and you need to give your answer in inches. Okay, which is really important one to remember how to convert. Fine. So and from feet to yard, you divide by 3, and from yard to feet, you multiply by 3. Halas? Remember this. If the question asks you to give the ratio in feet or in inches, make sure that all sides in feet or all sides are what? In inches. Okay, then you can continue solving the question. Remember that. It's really important point. Feet, inch, yard. Okay, fine. What I have here. The geometric mean is, this is the geometric mean. Okay, one question and then I'm going to jump to chapter 10. If A, B, C, D is, check the similarity sign. This is, we call it similar to PQRST. Then find the scale factor of PQRST to ABCDE. Done. Okay. See, where's the double slash here? I have a 15 here and I have double slash here. So directly From this shape to this shape is 15 to 21, which means divide by 3, divide by 3, 5 to 7. Is it enough? No. That's A, B, C, D to P, Q, R, S. But the question asked me the inverse one. P, Q, R, S, T to A, B, C, D, which means 7 over what? Over 5. Don't rush and choose D. Please remember the position of the shapes. Okay. Here we finish chapter 9. We go to chapter 10. Okay. Which is triangle congruence. Okay. Triangle congruent triangles. Fine. There are 5. Okay. It's a long chapter, but there are 5 major things to remember. If I say 2 triangles are congruent based on this information, that the congruence means all sides are equal and all angles are equal. It's not like the similarity. One of the M1 question asks if like we have 2 triangles. Let's say ABC, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. That means, is it they are congruent? No, they are not congruent. But if it's mentioned that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, are they similar? Yes, they are similar. أي congruence بعطيني similar, but مش كل السيميلر بيعطيني مين؟ Congruence. يعني congruent triangles, yes, are always similar, but similar triangles are not always congruent. تمام؟ خلاص? Remember this. What are the 5 postulates that makes the triangles congruent? The first thing is, second guy, yeah, side. 3 sides are congruent to 3 sides. Second postulate. Side angle sides. 2 sides are equal to 2 sides, and the angle between them, included angle, are equal to included angle. So in this case, we say yes, both triangles are congruent. The third one, which is angle side angle. 2 angles equal to each other, and the side between the angles equal the side between the angles there. Angle side angle. Okay. We have here angle side. 2 angles equal to 2 angles, and the side is beyond them, like not between them. So in this case, yes, they are congruent. Okay. And the 5th one, which is the hypotenuse leg. The hypotenuse leg, which means this only happens in the right triangle. A hypotenuse equal a hypotenuse and a leg equal to a leg. So in this case, we can say that both triangles are congruent because of what? HL. Those 5, okay, are the main postulates. But remember one thing last before I end this, okay? What's the value of JK here? Of course, I will say that it's 41. But before you say 41, remember that this is 19, this is 19, yes. This is 30, this is 30, yes. The angle here is equal to angle here, yes. Both triangles are equal to, they are congruent by what? Side, angle, side. They are what? Congruent with side, angle, side. So in this case, we can say this is 41, this is 41 based on by H, by C, P, C, T, C. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. We say that after you prove 2 triangles that they are congruent, we can say, in this case, that both triangles are congruent, and then we can say JK is equal 41 by CPCTC. Okay, this comes in M1 as like a multiple choice. We can say this is a 41 or this is 18, or the angle is equal to 30 based on what? Based on CPCTC. Now we jump to chapter 11. Chapter 11. Okay. Chapter 11 are the main thing is the 2D shape. Okay. Remember, you need to go through the area and the perimeter of all shapes. Parallelogram, characteristics of parallelogram. Okay, rectangle, rhombus, square, trapezoid, isosceles trapezoid. Okay. Isosceles trapezoid, and the how to get the mid segment of trapezoid. Okay. A circle, the perimeter of circle, combined shapes, okay, how to solve a combined shape question. Those questions are important to remember. Yeah, and the polygons, the area of a polygon. One of the tricks in M1, just it might come actually, which is, one second, as the area of a polygon is half times apothem times perimeter. Remember this. And that works for a pentagon, a hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nonagon, and decagon. But if we have a hexagon, we can avoid that by getting this rule: 6 times square root 3 over 4 times side square, which means the 6 times 6 equilateral triangles inside a hexagon that get me the area of the hexagon straightforward without wasting time. Okay, 1 second. Someone asked me to enter the meeting. Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. نكمل. تمام. The Pentagon, cover questions. Let's, okay, remember, okay, one of the question I'm gonna just solve it for you here. What is the perimeter of the trapezoid PMNR? The problem with the students will remember the trapezoid rule and they will forget that it's a combined shape. So we have this two, this mid segment 1, 1, 1, 1, and this is 2. How to get a perimeter for the trapezoid? If I want to solve it, I just remember, okay, that 1 and 1 will make a Pythagorean theorem. So this is square root of 2. And 2 plus 2 will make 2 square root of 2. So if I add them, it's 2 plus 3 square root of what? 2. This is the perimeter. From where you get this, and from where you get this, from Pythagorean theorem. Remember that. Fine. Okay. How to get the area? The problem with the area here is most of the student, they will look for the height of the trapezoid. No, I don't have height. So how can I solve it? Easy way. Area of a square is equal to 2 times 2. Area of first triangle, half times 1 times 1. Area of a second triangle, half times 2 times what? 2. So the subtraction will get you what? 1.5. The area of square minus the area of first triangle minus the area of the second triangle. Okay? Tamam. This is chapter 11. Let's jump to chapter 12. Circles. The circles, okay, you should always remember what's the radius, what's the diameter, what's a chord, what's a segment, okay? And one of the tricks in the circle, always remember, and that you almost forget in the exam. Many students did do this mistakes, okay? I should remember that this is, okay, this is a radius, and this is a radius, and they are equal. So this one equal to this one, equal to this one, equal to this one, equal to this one. So always the radius from the center to the edge of the circle, they are all equal each other. Okay, the area of a circle, the circumference of a circle, the area of a semicircle, the circumference of a semicircle. Okay, okay, here we go with the area of the arc length, which means theta over 360 times 2 pi r. It's like a portion of a circumference. And the area of a sector, which means theta over 360 times pi r square, which is a portion from the sector area. Yeah, remember also the inscribed angles and its relation with what? A central angle. Okay. There's one question. I need to solve it for you here in front of all of you. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna show it. And 1 second. Where is it? I'm wondering which exam, no, not exam 6. Okay, here. Hopefully I can find it. I'm checking. Not even this one. Maybe the third one. Yeah, third one maybe. Yes, 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 yes. Is there? This one? Yeah. Okay. Let's see this with me. This is an M1 question. It came before. Okay, it came before. This is arc, a type of mistake. Fine. Check this with me, please. All of you pay attention to the question. I'm gonna solve this because we just jumped to a circle chapter. So in the next, okay, joining figure, okay. E is equal 40 and arc AB is arc BC and arc CD all have equal length. So it means this one equal to this one equal to this one. Fine. Find the measure of AC, angle ACD. They want this angle. Right, fine. There are different rules I need to use to solve the question. So if this is 40, okay. Okay, so yeah, this is 40. How can I get this angle? First of all, I need to get the value of this arc. Later on, I'm going to tell you why I want this arc. طيب في rule بيحكي لي ايش 40 equals to what half times the far arc which is BC minus the inner arc which is what AD. Fine. So I'm going to call this X, going to call this X, going to call this also X. So 40 is equal half times BC, okay, which means X minus AC. I can't keep AC as it is. So I know that it's AD. I'm really sorry, AD. Yeah. I'm going to just make this different now. AD is equal to what? 360 minus 3x. Why? This part of a circle is equal to 360 minus this, and minus this. Okay, so I'm going to replace AD with bracket 360 minus 3x. So half and 40. Shift solve, the value of x is equal 110. So yes, I'm having here 110, 110, 110. Okay, what's the value of this, mister? That's going to be 30. What's the trick here? Okay. Okay, you want the angle ACD? What has to do with like the arc AD? What it has to do with this? See, في شغلة تانية بالسيركل لازم أنا أكون متذكرها إيش هي؟ In any circle, we call this central, and we call this what's inscribed. The value of the inscribed angle is equal, مثلا إذا كانت 100, this is going to be 50, half of the central. It's half of the central. So if I go back, the arc is equal to 30, which means the central angle is equal to 30. So, and angle C is what? Inscribed. So since the central angle equals 30, what's the value of the inscribed? Is equal how much? 15. Yes, that's the solution of this question. That's the solution of this question. This is one of the questions came in M1 before. Okay, came in M1 before. خلاص? Yeah, done. Next. Next. Okay. Yeah. How can I get the segment area? Segment area is area of sector minus area of what? The triangle. Okay. Remember that. There are many theorems of the circles. I can go through it all. So I'm gonna just خلاص احنا حلينا سؤال في السيركل خلاص بكفي. Let's go for jump chapter 13. Chapter 13. Okay, here. Chapter 13 يا جماعة اللي هو الرولز تبعت الكيوب الكيوبايل البريزمز الكون السلندر. Okay. Yeah, let's do this بشكل سريع. مثلا what's the volume of this shape? The area of the base. You need to find the area of the base. What's the area of the base? This is equilateral triangle, so square root 3 over 4 times 2 square. That's the area of the base times what's the height? Times 4. Okay, you should be like practicing the rules so how you can solve it. Okay, the cone, pyramids. Okay, just gonna choose a sphere, the area and the volume and the surface area of a sphere, the volume and the surface area of a hemisphere. Okay, remember that. I'm gonna choose a random question. Let's do this. The volume of the right triangular prism is 120 and cube. Find the value of x. So easy, which means volume is equal base area times height. So volume is equal how much? 120. What's the base area? Half times 5 times x times what? Times 12. So solving this, getting the x, which is going to be 4. So the 3D solids is only just, you need to remember what the rules. Okay. Chapter 14, which is coordinate geometry. A very important chapter. Coordinate geometry. Okay. You need to remember, okay, how to write a straight line equation. I need to know what's the parabola, what's this vertex, what's area, axis of symmetry, all of this. Okay. The thing is, never mind about those. Okay. The distance between 2 points, the midpoint. What I need to just to put in your mind, okay, as an example this way. Fine. What was that? Okay. So how you can calculate the center. In a coordinate geometry, if you have a circle with 2 points, 2 at the edge, you can calculate the center by the midpoint. Okay, like fine. How can I calculate the diameter? It's the distance between C and D. How can I calculate the radius? It's the distance between D and O. Or you can do the distance between C and D, okay, and you divide that by 2. That's how you can calculate the radius. Okay, that's coordinate geometry. Yes. How to write a straight line equation? There we have 2 forms. Y equal mx plus b. Y equal mx plus b, which I need slope and y-intercept, and y minus y1 is equal gradient with x minus x1. Okay, remember that. Fine. How to solve? How we can solve? Okay, a question involving a straight line equation. You need to put points into the solution and get the slope the first thing, and then after that you get the y-intercept and we can solve a question. Fine. Always remember, all the vertical lines have an equation x equal. All the horizontal line has equation y equal. Okay. Always when the line is going this way, this comes in the M1. The slope is what? Positive, and when the line goes that way, the slope is what? Negative. So parallel lines, I'm going to repeat that, they have the same slope. Parallel lines, they have the same slope. So y equal to x plus 3 and y is equal to x plus 4. Yes, they have the same slope. So they are going to be parallel. They have different y-intercept, I agree, but they have the same slope. So they will never intersect. Their intersection point is unknown. No solution for that. Tamam? طيب. What about, okay, the perpendicular lines? Perpendicular lines, their slopes multiplication get you what? Negative 1. So you multiply the slope with each other, so the answer is going to be always negative 1. Okay? Fine? Fine. Next. Still في ناس في شيء دخل الميتنج. No, no one. طيب. Okay, one good question here is which graph matches with which equations? أول ما يجي عندي سؤال زي هيك, I always remember. This is I call it y-intercept. It's what? 0,6. And this is x-intercept. I call it 6, what? 0. Fine. Now, what's the? Oh, sorry, this is 3. I'm really sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, what's the slope? Gradient is equal to 0 minus 6 over 3 minus 0. That is equal to what? Negative 2. When negative 2 عندي high negative 2 high bye bye high bye bye وعندي high negative 2. طيب الواي انترسبت positive 6 ولا negative 6؟ positive 6. لأن هذا مع السلامة معلمة. وينه؟ هي. So my choice is A. This is how you solve a question quickly in M1. Okay. Don't panic. Just look at the graph. You locate the points of intersection. That's it. Fine. Later on. Okay. خلاص هذا كله تمام. تمام هذا. Yes. Inequalities. Yeah. Inequality involving two variables. Remember يا جماعة. لما أحكي y greater than. Greater يعني the line dashed. Greater than or equal the line solid line. إذا قلنا greater than يعني المنطقة اللي فوق. إذا قلنا greater than منطقة إيش؟ اللي فوق. طب أستاذ based on what I can decide that if you just take any points here and you plug it inside the inequality, it will satisfy the inequality. طيب. And here, if we say less than, the line will be dashed. If we say less than or equal, the line will be what? Solid. So if you plug in anything inside under the shaded region, على طول it will satisfy the inequality. Okay. One of the questions came before in M1. Okay. يمكن ياخذ مني وقت وانا بحله بس مش مشكلة. hopefully الاقيه هلا. ايش في والله اتاكد لانه اجى بالام 1 والطلاب they were struggling with it. هي كل الاسئله اجت بالام 1 قبل عشان تكونوا عارفين. I need to check which one is that. Let's start from, I'm not sure where is it, but let me check the 5 files. It's not here, it's not here, it's not here. No. طيب نجرب. شفناه صح؟ هذا شفناه كمان هنا. ايوه هذا السؤال، هذا جيب الام 1. عشان السرعة بس نعرف 35 ايش اللي عم يصير ترى. 35 يا جماعة الخير سي. اوكي فاين. نشوف كيف نحل هذا السؤال وانا هلا في الام 1 اكزام وكيف بدي احل هيك سؤال. طيب ركزوا معي. انا قدامي البورد هلا في الامتحان، هرسم الاكسس زي هيك شكل سكراتش سريع. لازم اكون عارف y greater than 0 هي المنطقة اللي فوق الواي، المنطقة اللي فوق الواي اللي هي هاي المنطقة اللي فوق. طيب خلصنا من الرسمة الثالثة، هي مع السلامة يا معلم. الرسمتين هدول 3x اكيد يعني 0 حتكون هاي عندي المنطقة بتمر من هون، تمام؟ هي حتمر بهاي هاي المنطقة، حيكون عامل زي كان عاملها زي هيك، تمام؟ طيب اوكي مستر. بعدين نيجاتيف سوري عفوا هيك حتكون اوكي نيجاتيف هاف اكس بلس 4. هلا كلمة بلس 4 نيجاتيف هاف اكس يعني هي سلوب نازل نزول. بلس 4 it has a y intercept at 4 so at 4 this way. so المنطقة اوكي اللي هو بيحكي عليها حرفيا اللي هي وين يا جماعة؟ اوكي of this system of any inequalities from a triangle region. Okay, what is the area in square units of the region? طلع معي عندي هاي النقطة وعندي هاي النقطة وعندي هاي النقطة. أنا هلا قدامي البورد، طبعا هذا لازم أكون سريع بطريقة التحليل. هاي النقطة يا جماعة 0 0. حلو الكلام. هاي النقطة اللي هي نازل فيها نزول it has a y intercept at what 4. طب شو الاكس intercept؟ هقول له 0 is equal negative half x plus 4 بوديها على الجانب هناك تصير negative 4 is equal negative half x. راحت النيجاتيف مع x is equal 8. معناته هاي النقطة على طول 8,0. ممتاز. عندي صار 2 points. ضل أجيب عندي هاي نقطة الانترسكشن بين مين ومين يا أستاذ؟ بين هذا اللاين وهذا اللاين. مباشرة بروح بعمل له بقول له بمسح هيك بسرعة بقول له 3x is equal negative half x plus 4. طيب بعدين طب انت ايش بدك هلا استاذ؟ انا بدي الواي هون، بس خلينا نجيب الاكس عشان نقدر نجيب الواي. هيطلع انا عندي 3x minus half x is equal to 4. بالكالكوليتر قد ايه اكس؟ قد الاكس؟ ثواني بس يا جماعه احسبوا لي قديش الاكس يا جماعه هون. يلا يا يوسف. How much? No, give it as a fraction. 8 over 5x. إذا الإكس 8 over 5 قديش الواي؟ 3 times 8 over 5. معناته الواي is equal واحدة منهم اختار 3 times 8 over 5 which means 24 over what? That's the y. صح؟ No need for that. So what's the area now? Half times قديش البيز؟ 8. اوكي قديش الهايت؟ 24 over مين؟ 5. نص ال8 4. اوكي 4 ضرب 24 over 5. يلا 4 times 24 over 5. Get it to me as mixed number. يلا 4 times 24 over 5. It's fine. Huh? 19. Is it 90? 90 1 over 5. Sure. نتأكد. خلينا نتأكد. متأكد إنك ضربت صح؟ 4 times 24 over 5. I said 3. 3 times. Okay. Yes.
interrupt.
Sorry.
ممكن إنه في بالإكويجن أنتوا كاتبين هنا 3x minus 1 half x. هي لازم 3x plus 1 half x.
3x.
بالسولوشن هون 3x equal.
sorry. Yes. Correct. مظبوط. شكرا لك. مظبوط. This is Yusuf. This is 3x plus half x, not minus. Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah. Get me the x now. What's the value? Yeah, x is equal 8/7. Fine. Then I want to get y. 3 times 8/7, which is 40/7, right? So y is equal 24/7. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Now we get the area. Area is equal half times 8 times the 24/7. How much is that? How much?
Next,
Yeah.
13.5.
Yeah. It's C. Okay. Thank you, للتصحيح. Fine. So yes, when we shifted this here, we put it as a plus. Yes, great. Thank you very much. خلاص? Yeah. What's your question?
How can we like solve this type of question in less than a minute?
That's a challenge question in the M1. So this one will cost you 2 minutes approximately. Fine?
Are these one questions that give you like 2 points?
Yes, such kind of questions. تمام؟ Okay. طيب. Let's continue بس نخلص الكوردينيت جيومتري. احنا اتوقع خلصنا الكوردينيت. يس. ضل عندي شغله صغيره يا جماعه اللي هو if I have two inequalities, which means two lines that they overlap. What means overlap? Let's say the red one, which means the place which I can say this is the red part, tamam, and the blue one, which is what? As you can say, that's the blue. Fine. If they overlap, we'll get the pink color. So what does that mean? Which means any point in the pink would satisfy the first equality and the second inequality. So any point you get it like as an example 0 0. You put 0 0. Okay, yes, 0 greater than 7. You put 0. Okay, 0. Yes, 0 is less than or equal to 2. مظبوط صح. So any point in the pink region, okay, that will work with me. So this we call overlapping region. خلاص? That's a coordinate geometry. I think we are done here. Fine. Let's go for next. The trigonometry. Chapter 15. Yeah. Easy one, not like M2. Trigonometry in M2, it has a lot of work here there to do. But here, just remember, of course, you need to know what's the sine, what's the cosine, and what's the tan. Okay. Opposite over adjacent, that's the sine. So opposite over hypotenuse, that's the sine. Adjacent over hypotenuse, that's the cosine. Opposite over adjacent, that's the tan. Yeah, it's there. Okay. So, okay. And these two identities are really important, which sine squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1, and tan is equal to sine over cosine. Remember these two identities. Tamam? Sine squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1, and tan is equal sine over what? Over cosine. Fine? Fine. Tamam. Fine. Next. Those are basic questions. If I'm gonna get, yeah. يا جماعة عشان في طلاب بصير عندهم لخبطة. We call this angle of what? Depression. And we call this angle of elevation. They are equal because those two lines, the horizon is parallel with the horizon. So when we say angle of depression, which means like I'm standing there, I'm looking downward. So this is the angle of depression. Angle of elevation, always remember that looking what? Upward, this way. Fine? So the sine, cosine, tan, what questions? اختار question واحد نعمل فيه أساس نخلص الموضوع. ممكن هذا الquestion. Yeah, simplify this question. Okay, from factorization that I know it's sine square minus cosine square. وهنا sine square plus cosine square all over cosine square minus sine square. I need to change the sign of the denominator, so I'll take -1 out. It will be sine square minus what? Cosine square. So this cancels with this. So it becomes the answer negative sine square plus cosine square. And from the identity, I know that sine square plus cosine square equal what? 1. So the answer is what? Negative 1. Okay? Tamam. Remember this? Okay. Fine. Chapter 16, which is reasoning. Sorry, inductive and deductive reasoning. Fine. Okay. It's a long chapter. Just what I'm asking you, please. Okay. Remember 3 major things. The first of all, when is a conditional statement is true or false? If the hypothesis here, if the hypothesis true, well, conclusion true. The conditional statement is true. If the hypothesis false, the condition true. So the conclusion. So it means the conditional statement is true. True, false, that's false. False, false, that's true. So this is as an example, like if t-shirt is black, then the other t-shirt is white. That's what we call the hypothesis and the conclusion. The second thing is remember the relation between conditional statement, the converse, inverse, and contrapositive. Those are okay to be remembered. And the last thing in this chapter, I can't explain it because it's a long chapter. So biconditional statement. What's meant by biconditional statement? Which means if the conditional is true and the converse of that is also true, we say that this statement is what? Biconditional statement. Alas, those 3 things to be remembered. Okay, it's a long chapter. I can't explain it because we have short time now. I need to use it. Chapter 17, which is a sequence and series. Okay, and an easy way. One here. Okay, the main thing in this chapter, a sequence means a pattern. Okay, and this pattern, okay, I can give what you call a justification. What is it about? Increasing, decreasing, doubling up, okay, or it's decreases by a factor. But in general, the M1 exam will focus on arithmetic sequence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the increment factor? So it's plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So the nth term is equal a plus n minus 1 times d. So we call this the first term. And this number of terms, and d is what? The difference. Mr. Is always the difference positive? No, this is increasing. It could be another way. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and go on. So the a is 7. The decrement factor is what? Negative 1. And that's it. So this is increasing, and this is what? Decreasing. Okay. One quick question to solve this is this one. Okay. The first term of a sequence 1 is 10, and each term after the first term is 3 more. So I know that it's 10 plus n minus 1. Okay, خليها n minus 1 times 3. That's the first sequence. The first term of sequence 2 is 100. Okay, 100 plus, and each term, okay, after the first term is 3 less than the preceding term, which means n minus 1 times negative 3. Fine. What's the question asked me now? If x is the 16th term of sequence 1 and y is the 16th term of sequence 2. So you need to get the 16th term here. So I'm going to just replace n with 16. Just replace n with 16. So this one, you can get 55, and this one, you're going to get what? 55. Straightforward question. And they want the sum of the 2 terms that's equal to how much? 110. Okay. So always remember, focus on the arithmetic sequence. Okay. The arithmetic sequence. Fine. Next. The complex number, it might come and might not come, but the complex number is easy. It's involved with I, okay? I as, yes, we can solve this in the calculator directly, okay? But you need to just shift to the complex mode. Fine, complex mode, the I. And always remember that I is equal to square root of -1. I square is equal to -1. I cube is equal negative I power 4 is equal to 1. Always remember these four, okay? Always remember these four. Chapter 19, probability. Okay, the probability, it's a long chapter, but easy way, remember the term, what's meant by independent terms, complement, what is it, and dependent events, what are they. طيب هحط سؤال هلا، هحط سؤال probability involved in geometry. Probability involved in geometry.
This dependent events you add or multiply?
Yeah, dependent events means without replacement, so you need to remove that.
No, dependent, you add or multiply.
Dependent, you multiply, but with the removing of. What question is that? Okay. So a dart is thrown, okay, randomly and lands within the square below. Find the probability that the dart will land within the shaded area. The square has side length of 14. The smallest circle has a radius of 1, and the distance between each concentric circle is 1. Round to the nearest. Okay. So if I want to now to get to the shaded region here, okay, what's the probability? But in this case, okay, sorry. Okay, let's see the choices. Remember, yeah. Okay. What's the probability that the thing will land on what? On the shaded region. So what's the radius, Aslan, of the largest circle? Okay, first of all, the radius of the small, okay, circle has a radius of 1, and a distance between each concentric circle is 1. So in this case, this is what? This is 1, and this is 1, this is 1, so this is 3. So we can say, I can get the probability. First, I need to get the shaded area. The shaded area is what? It's pi times 3 square minus pi times 2 square, which is equal to how much? Pi 3 square minus pi 2 square is equal to how much? Pi, right?
Pi 2 square.
How much? Pi times come?
That's 5 pi.
Yeah. Pi. So the probability to be there, which means 5 pi over 40 is equal to how much? Faster?
1.21.
Huh?
1.21.
1 point, no, there's something wrong. 1 second. No, it wasn't that way. No. Hold.
Isn't it 1 over 3 times 1 over 3 times 1 over 3?
No. It's not like that. No, it should be C. Just let me
لازم
just-
نطلع الاريا بالسكوير.
Yes. هما انا مش حطيتها I'm sorry. انا ما جبتش الاريا تبع سكوير. So the side length equal 14. So yes, the same thing. مظبوط. Thank you very much. انا فكرت ال 14 هي الاريا. Sorry. Yes, which means يا جماعه 5 باي اللي جبناها قبل شوي over 14 times 14. قد ايه؟ How much that? Yes, 0.08. Choice C. So this is the shaded of circles, and this is the area of square. The mistake that I just شوفوا مرات انا شوفوا حتى كمان استاذ قراتها 14 وضلت في بالي انه ال 14 هي ايش؟ الاريا of square. لا. Double check. Yes, thank you for that. So 14 is the side, right? Side of square, and the area of square is side times side, and the area of shaded region, which means the outer concentric circle minus the inner concentric circle, which means 5 pi. So the division get me 0.08 as a probability. This question is a probability involved what in geometry. Fine. One more thing in the probability, which is في سؤال كان في بالي. Yes, but the thing جماعة شوفوا ركزوا معي. لما احكي كلمة and الprobability يعني multiplication. لما احكي كلمة or يعني addition. Remember that. So check this question as an example. Okay. The game spinner shown in to the right is colored such that 3/8 is the red and 1/4 is green, and the rest is blue. If the arrow on the spinner is spun twice, so it will get me blue, spun twice, blue and blue, which means blue multiply blue. Okay, what is the probability that it will land on the blue? So in this case, the red is 3/8 and the green is 1/4. And probability all systems equal to 1. 1 minus 1/4 minus 3/8, that's equal 3/8. So in this case, if I want to get blue twice, it's 3/8 times 3/8, that's equal 9 over what? 64. خلاص؟ تمام. Next. شيء ممكن أنا أتذكره هنا هذا كلياته dependent events يا جماعة. Dependent events. See. Let's say a jar contains 3 red, 5 green, and 2 blue and 6 yellow marbles. A marble is chosen at random from the jar. A second marble is chosen without replacing. Without replacing. I'm not returning it back. So what's the probability of getting green? What's the green? Green is what? So 5/16. طيب. I didn't replace it back. So what happened now? Multiply by what? Yellow. What's the yellow? It's 6/15 because I didn't return the green back. So what's the solution in this case? 1/8. طيب افترضنا انه انا ضفت كمان something like مثلا let's say a red multiply 3/14. اضفت كمان green. انا استخدمت الجرين قبل 5 حيصير 4/30 وهكذا كل مره بنقص. Be careful. That's I call it dependent events. Okay. تمام. هيك بكون
So it's dependent, you add or multiply?
you multiply. Nice. Fine. Next, chapter 20 is the function. يا جماعة بالfunctions بتذكر شغلة أنا. أوكي. بالfunctions أتذكر شغلة. هذول التنتين مهمات بالنسبة لي بس هذول التنتين اللي هم مين؟ اللينير والكوادراتيك. تمام. اللينير الدومين تاعها all real numbers، الرينج تاعها all real numbers. الكوادراتيك الدومين تاعها all real numbers لكن الرينج تاعها من الفيرتكس واطلع. تمام. بس هذول التنتين بكون أنا متذكرهم وأغلب الظن الموست important part اللي هي مين؟ اللينير في الام 1. طيب هلا لازم أكون عارف إيش يعني كلمة function. function إنه عندي 3 cases. إذا كان الانبوت أعطاني 1 output yes it's a function. إذا كان 2 inputs اعطوني 1 output برضه it's a function. لكن اذا 1 input اعطاني 2 outputs it's not a function. هذول الثلاثه كلهم relation، بس مين فيهم بميزه انه هو function؟ اللي هو انا بدي اكون متذكر انه يا اما input بعطيني 1 output او 2 inputs بعطيني what 1 output.
Two inputs, two outputs على function.
Of course 2 inputs 2 outputs that's function. يعني انت رجعت لنمبر 1 of course yeah. خلاص. طيب هذول كل الفانكشنز مش ضروريين طبعا، هذا كله اكسترا. yeah check this. هلا مثلا نشوف شغله هلا مع بعض. remember this. check this. If two values get me two different values, so not function, it's what a relation. لكن كلما كان عندي الموضوع انه كل function تعطيني one input بعطيني one output different, yes they are what function. في بيجي مرة سؤال، تمام، بيجي مرة سؤال أنا عندي طبعا كنت تكونوا متذكرين إنه مثلا زي هيك سؤال a plus b بدك تعوض جوا مين؟ الاكس سكوير، بدك تعوض جوا مين؟ الاكس سكوير، بسموها you need to evaluate. تمام؟ وفي بعض الناس لحد الآن في الكورسات اللي بعطيها لحد الآن في ناس بتكون تغلط لما أقول له x plus 2 سكوير ما بيعرف يعمل expand، بقول لي استاذ اتس اكس سكوير بلس 4 سكوير بلس يا ربي 4. لا طبعا ما بزبط هذا الحكي. اتس اكس سكوير بلس 2 times x times 2 4x plus 4. remember how to expand. okay ما علينا. okay. طيب هذا كله تمام. طلعوا مثلا زي هذا السؤال كثير مهم اكون عارف كيف شو بعمل. هون طلب مني f times g times h. what's the function f? that's a function f. what's the function d? this is the function g. what's the function h? this is the function h. في ناس على طول بمسك لي كالكوليتر. لا يا حبيبي ما طلب منك تمسك كالكوليتر باولها، ظبط الوضع بعدين امسك لي كالكوليتر، اعمل لي فاكتورايزيشن، اعمل لي فاكتورايزيشن، اعمل لي فاكتورايزيشن، بعدين this cancel with this, this cancel with this and x plus 2 x minus 2. that's it. تمام. بس اتذكر شغله انحطت في الجروبات امبارح انا I'm trying to solve as much possible. في سؤال زي هيك هلا في سؤال يا جماعة زي هيك هلا بورجيكم اياه اللي هو 16 power x over 2 that's equal 8x plus 1. to solve this 16 و 8. 16 هي 2 power 4 وال 8 هي ايش؟ 2 power مين؟ 3. حط لي براكت x over 2 حط لي براكت x plus 1 خلصت. بصير عندك 4 times x over 2 which means 2x. 2 power 2x is equal 2 power 3x plus 3. At the end 2x equal 3x plus 3, so x is equal what? Negative 3. اوكي تمام. تذكروا هذا النوع من الأسئلة. طيب next. Chapter 21 آخر واحد هو الشباب 21. Okay. طيب 21 statistics بكون أنا عارف شو كلمة مين. Okay, sorry. بكون عارف شو كلمة مين اللي هي sum of numbers on their count. عارف شو كلمة median. عارف شو كلمة mode. عارف شو كلمة range. هذا أول part في statistics. هذول الأربعة ضروري أكون عارفهم. هنحل بعض الأسئلة صغيرة بس statistics لهون. مش هذه الأسئلة. math practice مثلا as an example هنا. Tamer has test scores of 85, 65, 78, 81, 82, and 90. What must be the score of the sixth test to obtain an average score of 80? So 65 plus 78 plus 81 plus 82 plus 90 plus x all over 1 2 3 4 5 6 6. That's equal to how much? To 80. Shift solve بالcalculator بيطلع لي الجواب مباشرة, which is equal how much? That's equal to 84. Okay. So كتير مهم أكون عارف عشان كلمة mode, median, mean, range هالأشياء. أوكي. ودائما لما يعطيني set of numbers لازم أعمل rearrange من الصغير للكبير. هاي بعيد الجملة. لما يعطيني set of number لازم أعمل rearrange from أصغر إشي to the highest. أوكي. تمام. نكمل. Okay. Yeah, such kind of questions. Ahmed average score on the first 3 exams is 89% and earns an 81% on the fourth test. What will be the average? What will be the new average? So أنا بعرف إنه the sum of 3 امتحانات over 3 is equal 89. طيب أول شيء خليني أجيب السم. يعني أنا عشان أحل السؤال لازم أجيب السم. So 89 times 3 how much?
89 times
Yeah.
267.
267. That's the sum of 3 exams. طيب أستاذ السم of 3 exams زائد الامتحان الرابع over 4 should be equal at the. So if he earns an 81 on the fourth, so in this case 267 plus 81 all over 4, what will be the new average now?
87.
That's going to be 87%. That's going to be 87%. Okay, fine. Next. ثواني يا جماعة. اوكي. بكل الحالات هلا هيك تقريبا بضل عندي اخر شيء في الستاتستكس اللي هو هذا الشيء. ايش يعني كلمه رينج؟ قلنا ماكسيمم ماينس مينيمم. اجى في الامتحان الماضي الويسكر بلوكس بلوت. اوكي. هذا عندي انا اللوست فاليو، عندي هذا اللور كوارتايل، عندي هذا الميديان، عندي هذا الابر كوارتايل، عندي هذا الهايز فاليو. So those are major things to be remembered. Interquartile range, which means the Q3, which is the 75%, minus the Q1, which is equal to 25%. So that's the interquartile range. Means this value, 9 minus تقريبا 5.5. Okay, that's the interquartile range. I should remember that. Okay, so in brief, this is Q2, which is the median, Q1, the lower quartile, Q3, the upper quartile, the highest value and the lowest value. Remember that always. طيب, one of the questions, how I can solve this? I'll look at the smallest one, 7, the highest one, 26. Since there is 6 here, no. في عندي هنا شيء غلط, yes. عندي 2, no. عندي شيء غلط, yes. 6, no. This one is the accepted. Okay, such kind of questions can be solved easily. مثلا هون أنا عندي what percent of the data, okay, set fell between 9 and 5 and 16. Okay, so 9.5 and 16, which means this part, which is equal 75% minus what, 25%, that's equal out there 50%. Last thing in statistics I need to just you to remember is stem and leaf. How you can read data? It's 10, 21, 27, 27. That's how you read it. This is way. Then you write the data and then you can solve the question. Okay, always remember that. Right. Let's solve like some questions. مثلا خلينا نلاقي أسئلة. كل أسئلتنا هتسوي السؤال زيه. هتسوي لنا زيه هلا قبل شوي. وأنا اوكي بالكالكوليتر تطلع معي برضه. evaluation directly. شوف أسئلة يعني عن جد بدها شغل. هذا okay, which of the following, this one, determine which of the following graph represent a function. Okay. Sorry? No. Which of the following graphs represent a function? أنا عندي اللي هي part مين؟ part B. Okay. اللي هو لما أعمل سلاش رح يكون عندي إيش؟ ما عندي غير one point of intersection. C and D, they are not function. Okay. And A, okay, I cannot touch this one, so that's a problem. Fine. شوي هون عندنا none of the, okay, all of the graphs, graph A and graph what? B. Yes, it's graph A and graph what? B, that's the choice. Graph B and C, no, of course not. طب ليش C غلط؟ Check this with me. ليه غلط C؟ لما أعمل slash, it's 2 points. Okay, that's why C غلط. تمام. أشوف أسئلة تانية هون. لا هذا أوكي، خلصنا هذا. تمام. بعدين نشوف إيش في كمان مهم نعمله. طب هذا السؤال إجا في الM1 كمان. The tables show some ordered pairs from the two linear equations. What is the x coordinate for the solution to the system of equation? شو بختار لكم؟ شو السولوشن بده يكون في الحالة؟ مين الأوردر بيرز اللي هم يعتبروا solution؟ اللي هو -2 and مين؟ 7. Why negative 2 and 7? Because they are involved in the same, getting me the same answer. That's the simultaneous equation. Okay, so negative 2 and what? And 7. طيب. هذا السؤال. What are the equation and the slope of ببساطة سؤال يعني هو سهل بس الطلاب ممكن يضيعوا فيه. شو اللي حكينا قبل شوي؟ what's the equation of a straight a vertical line? x equal أكيد يعني حيكون جوابي يا إما b يا إما d. طيب. The slope of any horizontal line is equal 0. The slope of any vertical line is undefined. So what's the answer in this case? The answer is what? D. Tamam? The answer is D. Fine. Sorry? Why? Yeah. Okay. سوينا هيك. طيب هذا السؤال مباشرة شو بعمل؟ شو السلوب في الحالة؟ على طول 3y is equal 6x plus 10 divide by 3 divide by 3 divide by 3 so m is equal to 2 مباشرة. okay. Okay. طيب. A line is tangent to the circle 25 x y at negative 4 and 0. بدي يكون مثلا عندي انا هنا سرعه في الموضوع يعني كيف نيجاتيف 4 and 0. بدي اعرف شو السنتر تبع السيركل. باختصار a line is tangent. a line is tangent. طيب اوكي عندي نقطه يعني اذا كان عندي السيركل هذا اللاين يكون تانجنت ماشي. السنتر شو عندي اياها؟ نيجاتيف 1 ونيجاتيف 4. طيب ونيجاتيف 4 و0. what is the slope of that line؟ بجيب السلوب تبع هذا اللي هو شو حيكون عندي؟ نيجاتيف 4 minus 0 over negative 1 minus negative 4. That's equal negative 4 over what? 3. So you multiply it and you just flip it. Okay. You multiply it by negative 1 and flip it. That's equal to what? 3 over 4 because it's perpendicular. Okay. Remember such questions. It will come in one. Yeah. It will come in one. You need to know when I can use a perpendicular line, when I can use parallel lines. Fine. Let's jump to another question. The following is not an acceptable. شو يعني قصده هنا which of the following is not an x-intercept؟ يعني بدك تحلها بالكالكوليتر وتشوف شو الحلول اللي طلعتك بالكالكوليتر. الروتس بدك تروح mode equations. What's the degree 3? What's A1? What's B negative 4? What's C negative 21? And what's D 0? So which of the multiple choice is not a solution? It will not show you in the calculator. Fine. خلاص اتوقع هيك يعني احنا حلينا يعني good of bunch questions ومرينا على المادة كلياتها. Thank you very much for attending the class. سامحوني إذا أخطأت معكم. هي بريف عن المادة كلياتها وإن شاء الله all the best tomorrow. Thank you very much ونراكم إن شاء الله. التسجيل هذا إن شاء الله راح ينزل على اليوتيوب اليوم وحبات لكم إياه. في أمان الله ورعايته. دير بالكم حالكم. مع السلامة. باي باي.
يعطيك العافية أستاذ.
هلا حبايبي. مع السلامة.